Today I am going to explain a little bit about Czech grammatical cases. As you might know, I have series here on YouTube on Czech grammatical cases, where I explained the cases and how to form their singular forms. I would like to go back to this topic very briefly, but focusing on something different, and that is on frequent words that are a little irregular when we decline them. Czech cases are already intimidating enough. And then you have many words that act a little bit different than the rule is. So I wanted to make your life easier and point out a few words that are irregular so you can see them, learn their forms, and feel a little bit more at ease. Let's start with the first word, and that is Lidé or Lidi, which means people. It's important to realize that just like in English, Lidé refers to a plural number. The singular of one person, one human, would be člověk, jeden člověk, ale dva lidé. So it's already irregular enough that we have člověk, the singular for person, and then people. And then people is irregular then again. I put the forms of all the cases. We have nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative, locative, and instrumental. So the first one is nominative, and we have two forms, lidé and lidi. They both mean people, and one of them is formal and the other one is informal. Lidi is the one that you will hear much more often on the street or when people communicate informally. So lidi is informal. Lidé is formal, so when you write or when you read an article, it would say lidé, unless it's an informal article. Lidé is formal. And one very important thing to keep in mind is that lidé is plural, lidé jsou. Just like in English, you say people are. Člověk je, person is, lidé jsou, lidi jsou. I'm going to give you an example for every sentence. For example, jsou tady nějací lidé. There are some people here. Jsou tady nějací lidé. That's nominative, plural. This is all plural. Okay, genitive is lidí, only one form. So when you ask, kolik lidí, how many people? Kolik lidí tam bylo? How many people were there? Přišlo hodně lidí. A lot of people came. Přišlo hodně lidí. And also when you use prepositions that are typical for genitive, like bez lidí, without people. All of these would be in the genitive case. Lidem is for dative. So when you say give it to the people, for example, dej to lidem. Accusative is lidi, only one form. So lidé is not for the accusative case. Vidím tam nějaké lidi. I see some people there. Vidím tam nějaké lidi. That's the accusative, the direct object. Vocative, if you don't remember what it is, it's when we address somebody or we call somebody, we say, people, come. Lidé or lidi. It would be more common to say it with this way, the informal way, lidi. When you watch a Czech movie, you might come across a different form, and that would be lidičky, which is the diminutive of this form. It would be like little people or like my people, lidičky. But it would be, of course, a slightly different form. It would be lidičky, lidiček, etc. I will not talk about it here, but it's very handy to know about this form for the vocative, because sometimes, especially elderly people, would say lidičky, oh people, you people, my people, I have something to tell you.
Lidičky, já mám rád pivo. Já taky.
But also the vocative case has two forms, just like the nominative. In fact, the vocative case, plural, copies the forms in the nominative, plural. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Locative is lidech or lidech, about people. Bavíme se o lidech. We're talking about people. Bavíme se o lidech. Or if you're into reading and literature, you might know a novel by John Steinbeck of mice and men, and in Czech it's translated as O myších a lidech. O myších a lidech. And instrumental is lidmi, so s lidmi with people. Šel tam s nějakými lidmi. He went there with some people. Šel tam s nějakými lidmi. Okay, all of this is really nice when you write it like this. You might memorize it, remember it for 5 minutes, and then you forget about it. Okay, that's one way. Or you keep studying it like this, word by word, until eventually you remember it. But it's always better to learn it in context. So I give you examples of a few sentences. It's good to write a sample sentence for each form, something that you see yourself using in the future. Like čau lidi is a very common way of addressing to, like, hey you people. So this is not enough. Write sentences and learn those sentences. Try to memorize what case is each sentence, and with time you will be able to improvise even, and you will be able to use those same sample sentences for a different noun. You can replace lidé by, I don't know, dogs, for example. Psy. Let's see another word. Our next word is a pronoun všichni, which means everybody. And this is another word that would be in plural, and the verb would be in plural too. Like všichni jsou, everybody is. Here you have to be careful because in English you say everybody is, but in Czech you say everybody are. Všichni jsou. And one great thing about this, that you can do it in combo with lidi, because it often goes together. Many times you want to say all the people. So všichni in all its forms doesn't mean only everybody, but all the plus the noun. And when you look at the forms, you will notice that many of the forms actually have the same ending. Like here, for example, we have všem lidem, to all the people. Všichni lidi, okay. Here as well, všichni lidi, it corresponds with the informal one. O všech lidech, se všemi lidmi. So it kind of rhymes for many of the forms. So if you've mastered this word and all its forms, this will be a little bit easier. And it's also very helpful to learn these sample sentences for both words. In fact, I thought of making this topic into a video lesson thanks to a student who asked me, hey Zuzka, I really have problems using the word všichni and lidé in context because it's just so messy. And I was like, yeah, you are right. So that's why I'm making this video, so all of you can benefit from Brian's suggestion. Hi Brian. So the best way to learn is to write a sentence with both these words. For example, you can say přišli všichni lidi, which is the nominative case, all the people came. Přišli všichni lidi. It even rhymes. You have i, přišli všichni lidi, or přišli všichni lidé. And remember that lidé is formal. If you don't remember which is formal and which is informal, you can remember that všichni lidi rhymes and it's so easy to pronounce. Všichni lidi, přišli všichni lidi. Whereas when you say přišli všichni lidé, it takes more effort, so we rather reserve it for writing or for being more formal. Všech lidí, that's genitive. Like for example, the verb zeptat se always goes with genitive. Zeptat se, ptát se, to ask. So you can say zeptal jsem se všech lidí. I asked all the people. Zeptal jsem se všech lidí. Všem lidem. You're handing out some flyers, for example. Všem lidem jsem rozdal letáky. I handed the flyers to all the people. Všem lidem jsem rozdal letáky. Všechny lidi, znám tam všechny lidi. I know everybody, all the people there. Znám tam všechny lidi. Všichni and lidi. If you want to say hi, all the people. Ahoj, všichni lidi. It's not very common. We would usually say ahoj všichni or ahoj lidi, čau lidi. But you can do it for the sake of remembering it. Locative. Všech lidech má přehled o všech lidech. He or she knows about all the people. Mít přehled is to keep track. She or he keeps track of all the people. Má přehled o všech lidech. And instrumental, všemi lidmi, baví se všemi lidmi. He or she chats or talks with all the people. Baví se všemi lidmi. Good. So what do you think of this? It doesn't sound that bad, right? So copy this down, or also you can find this on my Instagram as a post a couple of weeks ago. Now let's see another common word, which is irregular. Tak, tady mám našetřené nějaké peníze. Mám tady obálku s penězi. Yes, we're gonna talk about money. I said, tady mám našetřené peníze. I have some money that I saved up, some saved up money. Tady mám obálku s penězi. Peníze is another noun which is tricky because, first of all, is always in plural and the verb is in plural. We say peníze jsou, and in English you say money is, so careful with that. And we have only one number, that's the plural number. They're always plural. And it's very irregular. Sometimes it acts like a feminine noun, sometimes like a masculine noun. Well, you don't have to worry about that, just learn these forms, learn them in context. So the nominative is peníze. Tady jsou peníze. Here's some money. Tady jsou peníze. Careful, if you say tady máš peníze, here you have some money, it would be accusative, but you don't have to worry about the form because the accusative and nominative are actually the same. Tady máš peníze. Tady jsou peníze. The genitive is peněz. Jsem bez peněz. I'm without money. Jsem bez peněz. It even rhymes. Bez peněz. Without money. Penězům, it's dative. For example, kde jsi přišel k těm penězům? Zuzko, kde jsi přišla k těm penězům? Where did you get that money? Kde jsi přišla k těm penězům? Because of k, the preposition k always goes with the dative. Accusative, we already gave an example, but you could say, hledám peníze, I'm looking for money. Vocative is also the same as nominative. Peníze. Tady jste moje peníze. Here you are, my money. Or I could even sound more poetic. Tady jste peníze moje. Here you are, money of mine. Locative is penězích. Nemluvte o penězích, prosím vás. Don't speak about money, please. Nemluvte o penězích. And the last one, penězi, the instrumental, which often goes with s. S penězi, like I said, tady mám obálku s penězi. Tady mám obálku s penězi. Here is my envelope with money. Here I have my envelope with money. Obálku s penězi. Good. So let's do an exercise to sum all of this up. And this is exercise 1 because there will be another exercise. So let's practice money first because that's what you have fresh in your memory or written down. I wrote 6 different sentences and they have all kinds of cases in them. And we're going to use the word money, peníze. We're going to complete it in the correct form, in the correct case. Let's see the first one. Ten jde jen po. Okay, you might not understand the sentence. Jít po means to go after, like to be interested in. So this sentence wants to say he is only after money. He is only interested in money. But even if you don't understand it and you see the preposition po, it's more likely that there will be locative. So, would you know how it's locative for peníze? Penězích. Ten jde jen po penězích. Záleží mu jenom na penězích. Even if we use another sentence, he's only interested in money, it would also be locative. Tomu záleží jenom na penězích. Second one. By the way, you can pause this video, work on it, and then check with me. This is actually a Czech saying, an old and very wise saying. Bez do hospody nelez. If you translate it literally, it means don't go in the pub without money. That means if you can't afford it, don't do it. Be smart. The English equivalent would be something like no money, no fun. So we have bez. Remember what I told you about the preposition bez? It's always with genitive, and besides, it rhymes. So it's bez peněz, bez peněz. And the whole saying actually rhymes. Bez peněz do hospody neles. It's a very cool saying. Bez peněz do hospody neles. Les actually comes from the verb lest, which means to crawl or to get somewhere. It's very colloquial for saying get somewhere. Za si štěstí nekoupíš. You cannot buy happiness with money. But careful, in English you say with money, but in Czech we say za, which is like in exchange of money. So the preposition za is very interesting because it can mean many things, not only behind, not only for. Here it means something like in exchange, and it takes accusative or instrumental. If it was instrumental, it would mean like behind money. So that's not what we want to say. We want to say in exchange. So it would be accusative, and that is za peníze, the same as nominative. So za peníze si štěstí nekoupíš. Finanční poradce rozumí. So financial advisor understands money. Rozumí, rozumět always takes dative, understand to something. So it would be penězům. Next one, neví, co dělat, which means he doesn't know, she doesn't know what to do with money, which can mean many things, but one of them is often like they don't know how to take care of money, they spend them right away, they don't know how to take care of it and save it or use it wisely. Neví, co dělat, s is instrumental, neví, co dělat s penězi. And the last one, potřebuju si vybrat. Vybrat means to choose, but also withdraw, really handy. Vybrat si means to withdraw for yourself. So we want to say, I need to withdraw some money for me. And that is accusative. So vybrat peníze. Potřebuju si vybrat peníze. Super. I'm sure you got many of these right. If not all, let me know how you did in this exercise. Well done. And now the second exercise, which is translation. We will look at two sentences, and guess what? These sentences contain all the three words that we learned today. Peníze, lidé a všichni. Brilliant. So, the first one is not all the people want money. Of course, there are so many ways to translate it, but we will go with the easy one. This sentence would be translated as it is written. We don't have to change the order of anything. Not all the people. This is actually the nominative case, and want is the accusative case. So we would say, look in your notes. Ne všichni lidé, or lidi, if you want to be informal, chtějí, because you need the plural for oni, like oni chtějí, they want. And then the accusative is peníze. Ne všichni lidé chtějí peníze. Super. Next one is, he gave less money to all the people. It would sound better if we take this part and put it at the beginning. So we would switch these two parts. To all the people, he gave less money. And we would emphasize that he gave less money. He gave less money. So you could say, okay, he gave money, that's accusative, but we have less, which is the key word for genitive. So because of this one, it would be the genitive case, less of money. And then to all the people. Give to somebody is dative. So all the people, they're both dative. And the rest is easy. You know how to do it. You first translate this part. Všem lidem dal méně peněz. Super, všem lidem dal méně peněz. Remember, when you learn the cases, it's good to learn them one at a time. You can first look at accusative and when to use the accusative. What verbs to use with this case. What prepositions often go with this case. Then learn a couple of words that you find important. And then so on. You go through all the cases just like in the videos that I showed you. Afterwards, you can pick a word, a noun for instance, that you use a lot. For example, at work, you talk a lot about clients. So zákazník, for instance. Zákazník, a customer. So you would look at how to conjugate zákazník in singular and plural, and then you would write a couple of sentences that you might use. And then you would learn it. And then you would start using it so often that you would eventually know it even without knowing how is it that you know. So it would become automatic. I know that the Czech grammatical cases have this reputation of being very confusing and frustrating, and I know it is frustrating. Luckily, I didn't have to study them the way you are studying them. But I have good news for those that would like to practice the cases from 0 all the way to 100% maybe. In the past couple of months, more than a couple, I have been working on a textbook, PDF textbook, focused on grammatical cases. And I give you all my knowledge and all the tips and all the exercises I give to my students that I teach online in my one-on-one lessons. This book has over 200 pages. I think it's very fun to use. It's great for self-studying, and you will find it on my website. You will find the link below the video or here. I'm very excited, and I hope this book will help a lot of people. To je ode mě všechno. Mějte se krásně. Uvidíme se za týden. Ahoj!